Howdy everybody, how y'all doing today? Today is Sunday, March 1st, 2020. My name is Colton. I'm a full-time eBay, Amazon, Poshmark reseller. In today's video, we're going to go over what it takes to become a full-time reseller. If you're thinking about being a full-time reseller, perhaps you're quitting your job or you're transitioning over into becoming a full-time reseller, what can you expect? I'm going to go over some of these top points and the hardships and the rewards of being a full-time reseller. So, number one is you're your own boss. There's no one above you, there's nobody below you. You take care of everything. You set your business model, you achieve what you want to achieve and how you want to achieve that goal. Okay? Number two is the inability to turn it off. When you start reselling, it gets in your head. It takes up a lot of space in your head. And it's very hard to have a separate life outside of reselling. You know, it takes up so much space in your head. You're always thinking about what's the next product. Whether you sell on eBay, Amazon, Poshmark, where am I going to get the next deal? When you go out of town, you're thinking about sourcing. Hey, should I stop in that Goodwill? Should I stop in that Salvation Army? Should I run in this Walmart and see if they got this item? It's hard to cut it off and separate your business life from your family life. We got this new building and an effort not only for space, but to be able to kind of shut it off. When we leave for the day, just shut it off, get it out of our head, which is nearly impossible. So being able to separate your life and reselling is a hard thing to do, especially whenever it's you're living. That's how you're earning your income. So you got to be able to have the ability somehow to separate the two, which is, if you ask any reseller, it's impossible almost. However, if you're into reselling, that may not be a big deal to be able to turn everything off, because you're in this to make money. You're not going to get rich overnight. You're not going to get rich in a week. You're not going to get rich in a year. You're building a business, okay? So it's always a good thing to turn it off, because you want to be improving everything you do every single day and every way that you do the things, okay? Your processes. Processes are very important in any business. The way you handle things, a standard operating procedure is you got to have a way you do things, and you need to follow the way you do them things. Another thing to consider is the work involved in being a full-time reseller. It goes hand in hand with the ability to turn something off. You can't turn it off, and you got to have a very strong work ethic if you want to succeed at being a full-time reseller. If I had to guess, between me and my wife and doing eBay, Amazon, and Poshmark, we easily spend over 80 hours a week doing this for a living. I mean, it's our income. You gotta put in the work. You gotta have a good work ethic. The only thing that's going to stop you is you. You got to be able to get up in the mornings and be a self-starter and a self-motivator and get in here and get what needs to be done, because that's how you're going to make your money. This will lead me into my next point, is your the work involved in your work ethic. It all leads into the next point of, if you fail at being a reseller or an entrepreneur online, it's because you give up on yourself. The only one that stands in your way of succeeding is you. There's nobody else in this world. There's not a platform, eBay, Amazon, Poshmark, Mercari, Depop, Grailed, any of these platforms. They're avenues to sell your stuff. But if you fail, it's because of you. It's either you've made too many bad buys, you're not good with money, you're not good with accounting and finances, you don't know what to buy, you're not constantly improving your mind and learning new things to sell, you're not staying on top of the popular trends and pop culture to know what people want, your marketing's bad, you're not marketing to the right stuff to the right people, you're not doing all the different avenues you can do, you're lazy, you know. That's the cold hard fact about it. If you fail, it's on you. Nobody else to blame but yourself. Next thing to consider is, if you're planning on starting an online business or a reselling business in general, is things that most people don't really think about. Insurance, because whenever you work at a job, you can have access to their insurance and cheap insurance, you know. But what are you going to do when you work for yourself? You got to have a plan for your insurance, your 401ks, your retirements, okay? You got to do the back end work, you know, as far as your taxes go, your finances. You got to be a jack of all trades when it comes to this stuff, and know where to put your money in your savings to make more money in savings. That way whenever you get older, you got a retirement, or that way when you get sick, you got insurance to go to the doctor. So consider these avenues. We're not going to dive into them and how to get them. Just consider them if you're thinking about going full time. The next thing to consider when becoming a full-time eBay, Amazon Poshmark, Mercari, any kind of reseller is where are you going to get the stuff to sell? Okay, you got a thrift stores. Could you just source thrift stores to become a full-time reseller? The answer probably is highly unlikely, because thrift stores now are going online. They're starting to sell their own items. They're in it to make money and get the most bang for their buck, just like you and me. So can you find great items at thrift stores? Absolutely. Can you make a full-time living at finding items at thrift stores? It's possible, but it would be a long, hard road for you, okay? You got to have different avenues, different places to get inventory to fit your business model that you set in place, because you're your own boss, to make the money that your business needs to make. So where are you going to get your stuff from? Auctions, thrift stores, garage sales, yard sales, estate sales, retail stores, wholesale. What are you going to do? You got to have a plan for that. Me, I'm not a niche reseller. I'll sell anything that I can make money on. My mind is wide open. If I can make $10, I'm going to make $10. If I'm going to make $5, I'm going to make $5. You got to consider where you're going to find your items, how much you can find, how much profit you can make, and how much your expenses are, and all this. You got to come up with that. So you need to figure out where you're going to have enough items to make the most money that'll support you and what your goals are in your business. The next thing I want to talk about being a full-time reseller is the stress involved with it. Not only do you have the stress of running the business, you're the own boss. You got to think about the retirement, the insurance, finding the items, taxes, accounting, bookkeeping. All of this stuff goes in. What happens if one of my accounts gets shut down? What happens if this happens? What happens if that happens? All these what ifs. And it's very, very stressful. And it all relates back to, can you turn it off? When you leave your business at night, it's nearly impossible to turn it off. There are things, though, that you can set in place to make it less stressful. Always improving your knowledge, finding different avenues of selling your stuff, setting up a retirement fund, getting good insurance, take the burden off a little bit. So it's very stressful. You are responsible for your business's failure or your business's success. Nobody else is responsible but you. Once you accept that, the stress becomes even more, but it becomes less at the same time, because then it kicks into gear your drive, your hard work ethic. Everything that you can do to make it successful is on you, but it's very, very stressful. Find some time to take off. When you leave, try to shut it off. Go out of town, go out to eat, go out to places. Try to shut it off the best you can. But if you have your sourcing models available and you have your other processes set in place, that'll alleviate a lot of the stress that comes along with this. But day to day, you're going to be under constant stress, because it's up to other people to make you the money. The next thing to consider is your business model. What do you hope to achieve with your business? Is your business, you want to maximize your profits on every item and sit there and clean every little $5, $10 item, or only sell cheaper items, or only sell high dollar items? Do you not even want to sell online? Do you want to sell cars, part-time, 2 or 3 cars, a month? Do you want to just source highly, highly collectible stuff? Do you want to source antiques? Figure out what your business model is going to be, what you want to do, what you want to achieve in a month, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 10 years. Sit down and think about what you want your business model to be and work towards achieving that. Every day of your life, every day you get up and go to work, strive to achieve your goals. So the next thing is all the different positions you're going to hold as your own business owner. If you're a full-time reseller, you are responsible for the sourcing, the shopping, the shipping, the bookkeeping, the accounting, everything. You are from the lowest man on the totem pole to the highest man on the totem pole. And so you're responsible for keeping up with everything that you got to do, the market trends, paying the bills, finding the items to source, shipping the items, cleaning the items, testing the items, looking up the items, listening to the items. Everything that you do, you're responsible for. If you think you can handle everything, the stress that comes along with it, I would say If you got a good business model, you got one life, you might as well try it. And the final point that this will all wrap us up to about being a full-time reseller is the freedom you get from it. That's the biggest positive. And people who resell online, they don't do it for mainly the money. They do it for the freedom that you get from it. You can, at any time, I can take off if I need to. I don't have to miss any of my kids' things they got going on. I don't have to miss any time that my wife may want to do something or go to a movie, go out to eat with family, any kind of get-togethers. I don't have to miss it. The freedom involved with this, you set your hours, you set your drive, you set your goals, you achieve them, and that is the best thing about being a reseller. Not having a boss. You're your own boss. You set your own rules, you set your own business model, you achieve your own goals. And at the end of the day, you set your own dress code. Alright, so here's my setup I use whenever I'm filming at garage sales, thrift stores, or my normal videos. I just got this Movo BXR10 mic, and it's plugged into the actual phone jack here, and then I got this little extension it comes with. And my phone sits in there. It's an iPhone 11 Pro Max, and whenever I film, you can see like this. So I'm carrying it around just like this, and this is just a little stick, and it also goes into a tripod if I need to set it up. But yeah, that's all I use to film, and I walk around with this at the garage sales, state sales, you know, just all the time. It's what I use, and it seems to work pretty good. You just can't be embarrassed for carrying this big old thing.